Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Girivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Girivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanatam Harim Yamunatira Vanatam Harim Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunjabiham Hari Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunjabiham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Girivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Girivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanatam Hari Yamunatira Vanatam Hari Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunjabiham Hari Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunjabiham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Girivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Girivaradham Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabham Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanatam Hari Yamunatira Vanatam Hari Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunjabiham Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Hare Jaya Radha Shyam Radha Shyam Radha Shyam Jaya Radha Shyam Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Nitai Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya, Ashtotara Satta Shishamachila, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jaya Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya, Ashtotara Satta Shishamachila, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavrinda ki. Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Rasa Raghunath Sar Goswami Prabhu ki. प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवधरी गौर भक्त वृंद की. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपा गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. श्री मथुरा धाम की जय. श्री मायापुर धाम की जय. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. वृंद देवी तुलसी देवी की. भक्ति देवी की. गंगा यमुना देवी की. हरे नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की. श्री श्री गौनिताय की. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की. श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे बोल. सामवेद भक्त वृंद की. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we are reading from the Bhagavad-gītā as it is, 12th chapter, devotional service, text number 11. athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān athaitad aśakto kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān athaitad aśaktopi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. हाँ बोलिए.
athaitad aśakto asi kartum mad-yogam sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān
athaitad aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān
athaitad aśaktosi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Mataji's.
athaitad aśaktosi mad-yogam sarva-karma-phala-tyāgaṁ tataḥ kuru yatātmavān.
Atha,
Atha,
even though, etat, this, api, also, aśakto,
aśaktaḥ,
unable, asi, you are, kartum, to perform, mat, unto me, yogam, in devotional service, aśritaḥ, taking refuge, sarva-karma, of all activities, phala, of the results, tyāgam, renunciation, tataḥ, then, kuru, do, yata-ātma-vān, self-situated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Purport. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objections from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated result of his activities to some good cause. Such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions of punya, or special work in which the result of one's previous action may be applied. Thus one may gradually become elevated to the state of knowledge. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. That is also recommended here, because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually, and in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience, because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there are impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his actions. In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one's country, etc., may be accepted, so that someday one may come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad-gītā we find it is stated, yata-pravriddhir bhutanam. If one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, even if he does not know that the supreme cause is Kṛṣṇa, he will come gradually to understand that Kṛṣṇa is the supreme cause by the sacrificial method. Om ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakshudunmilitam yenam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. So here in this chapter, Arjuna is asking about who is better, the transcendentalist who is meditating on the impersonal Brahman, or the transcendentalist who is trying to approach Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is engaged in devotional service. Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is answering that those who fix their mind on my personal form and are engaged in devotional service with faith, they are considered by me to me most perfect. So different transcendentalists are there. So basically two categories are mentioned here, the impersonalist and the personalist. And amongst the impersonalists, there are many categories are there also. The Mayavadis, the Brahmavadis. So the Mayavadis followers of Shankaracharya, who was accepting the Vedic literatures, but in an impersonal way. And the Brahmavadis who are following Buddha, an incarnation of the Lord, but who was preaching about non-violence, because before him, the persons who were abiding by the Vedic literatures, they were sacrificing animals in the name of, basically in the name of following the Vedic literatures and for elevation in spiritual life. But then many times then it became sanctification and they simply wanted to eat meat. So in order to bring the persons away from this violence, Buddha introduced non-violence. And there not only physical non-violence by killing, but even more so than by speaking also being non-violent, being kind to others, helping others. So physically, and then vocally and mentally. Actually it starts with the consciousness, with the mind, that one should be humble, one should be tolerant, one should be respectful. Sarva-bhutehi terataḥ. One should try to not only take care of oneself, either materially or even spiritually speaking, but one should try to help others also. And that is a symptom of a Vaishnav, that is trying to help others. Nam ruchi Vaishnav seva jivadoya. He has a taste for spiritual activities, especially for chanting the holy names, because it is the Yuga Dharma. But then he's serving the Vaishnavas also. And then he's merciful to the conditioned souls. Jivadoya, by giving knowledge to others, transcendental knowledge, by giving prasadam to others, or helping others to advance in spiritual life, somehow or the other. And then even those are there who are doing yoga, practice, Ashtanga yoga, Hatha yoga, and even there are varieties of persons or yogis. So some then they are meditating on Vishnu, Paramatma, the Super Soul situated in everyone's heart. But then many of them also, they try to merge in the Supreme Lord, so to say. So then they become just like Mayavadis or impersonalists. And then even amongst the devotees, as explained here, there are many kinds of devotees who are on different levels of devotional service. And so even some are worshipping Kṛṣṇa, some are worshipping Vishnu, Ramchandra. So big variety of transcendentalists are there. But basically, as also explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 5th canto by Lord Rishadev, he's speaking to his sons also. He had 100 sons. And the eldest was Bharat Maharaj. And then was great emperor, a great devotee of the Lord also. And then the 9 Yogendras were there. Great transcendentalists also, who gave wonderful instructions as explained in the 11th canto in regards to pure devotional service, and who also recognized and understood that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will appear in the age of Kali. Kṛṣṇa vanam tisa Kṛṣṇam sangapangastapastadam yagya sanketapayaya jantehu sumedasaha. And then the other sons, most of them, they were, because Rishabdev was from the, externally speaking, from the royal order as the emperor and king. So then the land was divided also. Before Bharat Maharaj, he was the emperor, but then he divided amongst his brothers also the land, the kingdom. So we can see that those who become perfect are actually very rare. But especially it is mentioned here that amongst the two, the impersonalists and the personalists are properly situated, and they make advancement more fast. Whereas the impersonalists, they actually, so to say, they are not having the complete understanding. So therefore their progress is long, as Kṛṣṇa is explaining in this beginning of this chapter, in the beginning of this chapter. And many times they may not achieve the highest perfection, but they may enter the Brahmajyoti, the impersonal aspect of the Absolute Truth, which is ultimately of no use, because by nature the the jiva is an eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa. He is meant to serve Kṛṣṇa. And in the Brahma-jyoti, the jivas are there, the unlimited jivas in the Brahma-jyoti. But they are spiritually conditioned, nitya-baddha, since time immemorial. And they are also eternal servants of Kṛṣṇa, but they are not aware, they are in a dormant state. So they are spiritually inactive, so to say. And many times also the impersonalist, because it is not natural not to think of anything and not to act, not to do anything, not to say anything. It is not natural. So therefore they end up doing some welfare activity. But so that of course is also as explained here in this verse which we are discussing today. So that is also to be accepted, and that is fine. Better than being a materialistic person. Although sometimes it is explained to be an impersonalist is worse even than being a materialistic person, because the impersonalists are saying the absolute truth has no form. The absolute truth has no hands, no legs, and so in this way they become offenders of the absolute truth of the Supreme Lord. So from one angle of vision they are offenders, but from another point of view, if they are not criticizing the personal form of the Lord or the devotees, then they may be accepted as more advanced as materialistic persons, because they understand that when one is in this material world, one should not simply strive for sense gratification, but one should try to be self-situated, as explained in this verse also. So Kṛṣṇa is explaining that the devotees are superior than the impersonalists. And then he's explaining that those who worship me, giving up all material activities unto me, or giving all, or surrendering their activities unto me, so engage in devotional service, meditating on me. So for them, I am the swift deliverer for the cycle of birth and death. And then again, he's more specifically saying that, just to make sure that it is clear to Arjuna. Of course, Arjuna is his devotee, but by the Lord's arrangement, ultimately, he's put into an illusion, not understanding what to do and what not to do. So, but we should understand that is the illusion which is under the internal potency of the Lord, Yoga Maya. Whereas the conditioned soul, they are under illusion of the external potency, Mahamaya. So that is the difference. So he's explaining to Arjuna that, first of all, the first class person or transcendentalist, he should just fix his mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then also the intelligence should be fixed on Kṛṣṇa. And in this way, one will always be connected with Kṛṣṇa. So that is actually the goal, to understand that I am the eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa, and then to fix the intelligence, the mind, and the senses in the devotional service of the Lord. Just like Ambarish Maharaj, Savaimana Kṛṣṇa Padaravindayor. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, and then he engaged all his senses in the devotional service of the Lord. But that is not so easy. Actually, it is quite difficult. And then Kṛṣṇa is explaining to Arjuna, actually for our benefit, because we also can understand that it is not easy. Then one may think, so what hope is there for me? And then Kṛṣṇa is saying, fine, if you cannot do that, if you cannot fix your mind upon me all the time, then you follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Means Vaidhi Bhakti, following the rules and regulations given by the spiritual master, which are mentioned in the scriptures. And the spiritual master is the representative of Kṛṣṇa. And in this way one will develop a desire to attain Kṛṣṇa, to be absorbed in Kṛṣṇa. And then Kṛṣṇa will help and he will reciprocate. And when the consciousness is purified, then the devotee will be able to always think about Kṛṣṇa and engage all his senses in Kṛṣṇa seva. But it will take some time. But if one cannot do that, be fully engaged in devotional service for various reasons, then Kṛṣṇa is saying, then, that is yesterday's verse, if you cannot follow the rules and regulations of bhakti yoga, like getting up early in the morning, taking a bath, chanting a fixed number of rounds, going to attend the artik in the temple, darshan, the worship of the spiritual master, hear the Bhagavatam, and then serve throughout the day the Lord, and then have an evening program and read the scriptures. So if you cannot do that, so then you just try to engage in some work and then you give the result to Kṛṣṇa. So that is known also as karma yoga. And in this way, slowly but surely, you will become more and more devotional. But if you are unable to do this, so that is today's verse, athaitad api aśakto pi kartum mad-yogam aśritaḥ. If you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. So one has to work, everyone has to work. The Kṛṣṇa has explained in Bhagavad-gītā, and that we can know. If you are not working, so then we are not getting any result, and then we cannot even maintain our body or our family. So everyone has to work. And because by nature the soul is active, so one is bound to act in a certain way. But one should act in a proper way, in a civilized way, and probably following the scriptures or the spiritual master, the representative of the Lord. And also if one is not able to be surrendered to Kṛṣṇa or to give up the result of one's work to Kṛṣṇa fully, then at least something should be given to Kṛṣṇa. Like even Prabhupada has explained, or the acharyas also, that if one is working, like so many devotees, they are working outside and they're getting some money, and then they will give a certain percentage to Kṛṣṇa. So ideal 50%, but that is mostly difficult. Unless one has a good job, has good karma, is getting a lot of money, then he can give more. But the common man, he cannot give 50% of his income to Kṛṣṇa. But at least some percentage he should give to Kṛṣṇa. Or help the devotees who are engaged in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And at the same time, tataḥ kuru yatātmavān. So one should be self-situated, atma-vān. So being aware that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. That is important to understand. And not only theoretically, but we have to realize that also. And of course, in order to realize, one has to actually engage in spiritual activities. And as explained just here, in order to quickly advance, one has to engage in devotional service. But as Prabhupada is explaining also in the purport, so due to various circumstances, one maybe social, familial, or religious, one may not be able to engage in Kṛṣṇa consciousness immediately. Or even one may be not able to give up 50% of his income for Kṛṣṇa consciousness. But then one should just try to be self-situated, understand that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. And then as explained here, that so one shouldn't be, even Kṛṣṇa has explained in the third chapter, what is it? Karmanyavit karastema. What is it again? 327. Karistema karma phala heturbur. So one should perform his duty, his karma, and then, but one should not be attached to the result of his karma. No, it is not this one. What it is, 329 or forgot. Anyhow, so it is mentioned there in the Bhagavad-gītā by Kṛṣṇa that so one has the right to perform one's duty, but one should not. But one is not actually entitled to the result of one's work fully, because ultimately everything belongs to Kṛṣṇa, and one has to understand that. At the same time, so obviously, practically speaking, if one is working, one will get a result, and one has worked, so one should get the result. That is obvious. And practically speaking, that is what is happening in this world. But then one has to understand ultimately that we are servants of Kṛṣṇa, and by the Lord's grace, actually, we are able to do something. And then, but then by our endeavor, so we get the result, and then we should give some of the result to Kṛṣṇa. If not to Kṛṣṇa, then one should perform some pious activity. One should do some social work, as explained here by Prabhupada, also in the Purport, and as it is indicated in this verse, that one should give up the result of one's work. Not completely, because we have to maintain ourselves, but at least a percentage, at least something should be given. And in this way, so one may become purified. And by doing as Prabhupada is explaining, and as explained by Kṛṣṇa, so by the sacrificial method, by doing some sacrifice, then slowly but surely one can understand Kṛṣṇa. One can make advancement in spiritual life. So this human form of life is meant for self-realization. And in order to realize ourselves or to realize Kṛṣṇa, one has to do some sacrifice, one has to do some austerity, one has to endeavor very much. And even we can see when we engage in devotional service, so one has to do some tapasya, like on Ekadashi we don't take any grains, or even every day we have to get up early. It is a kind of sacrifice, and one has to take a bath, prahata snan. So that is required. And then by doing this, one becomes purified. But the most purifying method is, of course, directly engaging in devotional service. And that starts with the chanting of the holy names, the Maha Mantra, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as we know, we say the Sankirtan Yagya. Sankirtan Yagya. The Sankirtan means congregational chanting of the holy names. Together the devotees are chanting, they're going out on the streets and chanting the holy names. That is known as Sankirtan Yagya. Of course, Sankirtan means also Samyak Rupena Kirtan, to be absorbed in doing Kirtan. Kirtan means chanting the holy names of the Lord. Even chanting properly Japa, that is also Sankirtan. If you are absorbed in chanting the holy names. And just like Sankirtan in the streets and then the others are hearing, then they become purified. And if a pure devotee is chanting, then the whole atmosphere is purified. As explained, even the whole universe is purified when the pure devotee is chanting. Nama Yagya Mahayagya Kali Kalmashanashanam. Krishna Chaitanya Prityartam Nama Yagya Samarpanam. Nama Yagya Mahayagya. Nam Yagya. So chanting the holy names, it is a yagya. Mahayagya, great sacrifice. Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. Kalmash, Kali, the age of Kali, so many difficulties are there in the age of Kali. The environment, the pure environment is rare. And you can see even in Vrindavan, most holy place. But now, so many buildings are there, so many vehicles, so many persons. And many times they just come here for spending some time and having some fun. And not so devotional, but at least they come to the holy place. But because of their material consciousness, and to some extent, so that it's affecting the atmosphere of the holy dham. But still, of course, great benefit is there. But so usually holy places, or even 50 years ago, 40 years ago, it was completely peaceful atmosphere here in Vrindavan Dham. I came here first time 1980. It was very peaceful. Hardly any vehicles were coming here. And Jamuna river was pure. And we used to drink the water. Now we hardly even dare to go to take a bath because it is not so clean, externally speaking. Parikrama path was very beautiful. It was sand path. And you could walk, and you could hear the birds, the parrots, you could see the peacocks. Now nothing is there, or hardly you can see, because of so many people. But still the atmosphere is there, but to some extent some covering is there of the pure transcendental abode. But then, so Kali Kalmasha Nashanam, but then when we chant the holy names, the Kalmash, the impurities of the environment, and especially of the heart also. Impurities are there in the heart. The anatas. Asat Trishna being things which are impermanent. Asat. Trishna having thirst. Hriday Dorbalyam. Even we know what we should do and sometimes still we cannot do. And then Sarup Brahma, not understanding the actual situation of pure devotional service or the Supreme Lord and how to engage in pure devotional service. And then aparad, committing offenses to the Vaishnavas, to the holy names, to the holy abode. So that has to be avoided. So by chanting the holy names, then the heart becomes purified. And specifically, so Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prityartam, Prite, so for the pleasure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is most merciful. Nama Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prem Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namini Gauratise Namaha. It's not different from Krishna, from Radha Krishna. He has come as a devotee, and he has showed how he should perform the devotional service, especially chanting the holy name. Nama Yagya Samarpanam. So we should Samarpan, Samarpayami. We offer the holy names to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna. So even chanting japa, sometimes you can see this Mahayagya. We try to think about Krishna, the mind is going here and there. But then we have to try to control the mind by praying to Guru Garanga Krishna, so we can remember them. We can remember the beautiful form of Krishna, his qualities, and then his pastimes. So one has to endeavor, and one has to pray, chanting and hearing nicely the holy names, but then with the consciousness also. So we have to pray to Guru Garanga Krishna. We have to cry out for the mercy. And then we may be able to chant nicely and become absorbed in the holy names. And then we can advance swiftly in devotional service, and then we become purified in consciousness. And then yatātmavān, then actually one becomes self-situated. Atma-sakshatkar, then we can directly perceive ourself. Atma, sakshatkar, direct perception of the self, a spirit soul. And of course, just to be aware that I am spirit soul, that is just the beginning. But then there is more, that we have a transcendental form and a relationship with Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa the person, Kṛṣṇa sakshatkar, direct experience of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa's beautiful form, his qualities, Kṛṣṇa playing the flute, wearing a yellow dhoti and chadar. That is direct perception of Kṛṣṇa. And then we can, when we directly perceive Kṛṣṇa, then we can also directly perceive our spiritual form. So we are spirit soul. But spirit soul means also Satchidananda Vigraha. A spiritual form is there. Either as a gop, a cowboy, or a gopi, cowboy girl, or whatever it may be. In the transcendental realm, in Golok, or in Vaikuntha, as a servant of Vishnu, or servant of Ram. So ultimately we have to come to that platform. So it is a gradual process, and Kṛṣṇa, so he's explaining to Arjuna that don't worry if you can not always remember me, but then you follow the regulative principles, then you can come to me. If you cannot do that, at least you work for me. Give up the result of your work as much as possible. If not, then try to be self-situated and try to do good for others also. And in this way, one becomes more and more purified in consciousness, and then one can attain perfection ultimately. It is 1:07, so it's telling me, ho gaya, finished. But you can ask a question, 1 minute time you have. Yes?
We always talk about Harinam Sankirtan for this age.
Yes.
Telecom. And Prabhupada also did this fire yagya only for initiation and
Yes.
marriage ceremony.
Right.
But now you see they put these big 12-foot posters. When was the last time you did yagya for wealth, prosperity, health? Why do you do that? It looks so bad to do. And then they say they scan here and pay now. Online yagya.
Yes.
And the temple is doing that. They have these big posters everywhere. This is
Everywhere they have. I didn't see that. Really? Where?
one outside your
Poster also displayed.
Where?
on the blue, the
I saw one on MBT side there.
yeah, and then
on-
one big one.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I saw that also.
And then
Yes.
that makes people think that we're preaching this yagyas. Do this yagya. When was the last time you did? You'll get wealth, prosperity, health. It's so bad. This is not ISKCON. Why do you allow this to happen?
Well,
It's not progress.
yeah. Well, you see, we have to see time, place, and circumstances.
Online.
Yes,
Scan now.
yes, yeah. Well, you see, we can see different things are there. First of all, again, the same point that it is true that most important is actually to always remember Kṛṣṇa. At the same time, you can always remember Kṛṣṇa, I'm asking you. You always remember Kṛṣṇa? No. Okay. You always chanting Hare Krishna? You chant 64 rounds? No? 16 rounds? Okay, fine, good, yeah. So in the beginning we chant 16, but then we should, Prabhupada said at least 16 rounds. Because it is difficult to chant more. In the beginning, Prabhupada said chant, when in the beginning devotees were joining, and then they got initiated, and then he told them 16 is actually not enough. You should chant 64. The devotees, 64? And they tried a few days. Prabhupada, we cannot chant 64 rounds and do so much seva. Okay, 32. They tried a few days, 32. Prabhupada, it is not possible to chant 32 and do so much Sega. Okay, 16 but not less. And then they were trying. But as we know, that even that many devotees, they could not do for a long time. And then they were leaving. Many took sannyas, they could not stay, they were leaving. First everyone brahmachari, brahmacharini. But after some time, mostly they got married. And many also left, and the movement also. And Prabhupada has explained that I have given everything, explained everything about pure devotional service, and given the process of the 5 most important processes: Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Pritipurvak, Murti Seva, Sadhu Sangha, Dham Vas. So that he has given, but not everyone can do that. And then Prabhupada said towards the end of his life, 50% of my work is done, but 50% is remaining, and that is Vana Ashram, because not everyone can engage in pure devotional service. And then they have to be situated in Vana Ashram with Kṛṣṇa in the center and try to become purified. So in this way, and therefore here we have these verses. Not everyone can always think of Kṛṣṇa, not everyone can always chant Hare Krishna, not everyone can follow the principles of bhakti, not everyone can simply work for Kṛṣṇa. So it is like this, a graduation. So therefore, we're distributing books and we're telling everyone to chant Hare Krishna. And there's a program in the temple also, please join and chant Hare Krishna, chant 1 round, because not everyone can chant 16. And we tell also people chant 16 rounds, but many people are busy. I have to work. Now, okay, at least chant a few rounds. And in this way, but if they cannot do, then they can do something else. They can help in a certain way. And therefore, okay, if you cannot chant so many rounds, then you can participate in a yajna. And you give a donation. And in this way, you make some advancement, because you're giving a donation and you're getting some benefit also. Because mostly people, they want some benefit. And that is karma yoga, and that is there. And even you can see in the temple many times, people, they want some benefit. And even now many times they want money. Even in many places they're giving money to the priest. They want money. The pujaris, they pay the pujaris salary. But then it's not a brahmana, because the brahmanas are not taking salary. They can have an allowance. Therefore, here we give also something to pujaris, but not salary. We give an allowance, because the brahmanas are not supposed to be dependent on others. So in this way, to get the pure devotion, this society is supposed to be a society of brahmanas. Now, how many there are who are brahmanas, who have brahmanical qualification? Many have a brahman threat, but they're not brahmanas. That is okay. Next class is there? Okay. So that is the situation. So in this way, therefore, the temple decided, and because actually people are asking also, please, that we like to do yajnas, and therefore the facility is there, and many times they want to do marriage ceremony, but then they want to have the money in ISKCON, so therefore there is a facility in the Yagashala and the Goshala, so people, they don't have to go outside, and they pay much more money, and that is going to outside people, the money. If it is here, then it is going to the temple. And even I can tell you, many devotees, they were going outside doing yajnas, because they're going to astrologers, and they say, I have a problem, this problem, that problem, what shall I do? And then the astrologer is saying you should do it this yajna, and then your health will be fine. You do this and this yajna, and then you will have money, and this and that. So therefore, better you give to Kṛṣṇa, and you're doing it in a devotional way.
But that yajna is not really, they don't even do it
No. No, usually
it's a way of getting donation.
that is there also. That is there also, but usually the Vaishnavas, they do yajna properly, because in the beginning you worship Guru, Gauranga and Kṛṣṇa. And then we do not do a yajna for Indradev or for the Navagraha, for the 9 planets, but the yajna is done for Nrsingadev, for Sudarshan yajna. In this way, it is maybe not, it is actually a sattvic activity. Other things are there which are not as sattvic, you know. They're not the people who say, why are you making business here and selling these stickers or selling this perfume and selling incense? It becomes commercial. People are saying too, but what to do? But in this way they are engaged also in giving some donation. But pure devotional service is rare. But if you can do it, it's fine. But we have to find a way also how to engage those who cannot do pure devotional service. Okay? Hare Krishna. So you can have some Mahaprasad if you like. Hare Krishna.